Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my channel, NBC Stitcher. I'm Matt, and this is Augie, and today is Friday, December 3rd, 2021, and it's been 3 weeks, I think. It's been a little bit. Just with the holiday last week and everything, it didn't really give me the time to do that. There's some wildlife happening outside, so Augie may be starting to howl or bark at things, just as a warning. He has seen the birds and stuff. He doesn't usually bark at birds, but we'll see. Anyway, I also don't know what episode this is, but you do because it's in the title. As I was saying, it's been a little busy around here. I have done a lot of stitching. I actually have quite a bit to show, which is great. A couple new starts, no finishes, but several pieces to go through, and some plans, and quite a bit of haul. Some of which is my Black Friday purchases of things, and so I'm gonna go through that. I have been reading, but mostly I've been reading one series, and I'm still reading it, and so I don't think that there's going to be a separate book talk, but yeah, I'm not planning to do that at the end, so not this time. But the one thing that I will say, I have been watching the new Wheel of Time series on Amazon. It's a TV show. As I talked about last time, I reread the first book of the Wheel of Time in anticipation of this. I'm very happy with the show. I'm really excited for it. It's been very good. Of course, it's not exactly the same as in the books, but a lot of the stuff I'm actually really interested in how they changed it, and I feel like even some of the episodes which are very much like that didn't happen in the book, it feels like Wheel of Time. Like it has the essence, even if it's not directly following, the storyline of the book. And they've captured what it is of the Wheel of Time and the Eye of the World, for that matter, the first book. So I'm really enjoying it. If you have been hesitant, I would definitely check it out. It is fantasy, but it's also like, it's not your typical fantasy. And like one of the behind the scenes things they were talking about was, instead of like focusing on kings and queens, this is more of like farmers and kind of regular people. I mean, there's important people that are discussed in there and part of it as well, don't get me wrong, but like it's not the same thing as Game of Thrones. It's also not nearly as like, it's not Game of Thrones, but I do feel like it is the new, like, it's in the genre of Game of Thrones, but in a different part of it, and I think a good part, and I like the show, and it's very bright, colorful depiction of the world, and I just really am enjoying it. So go check it out if you haven't. It's on Amazon Prime. The first 5 episodes are out now. There will be 3 more in this first season. They come out on Fridays, which really means at least Central Time, about 11 p.m. on Thursday night. So I have been watching that. But it's actually a little earlier. It's just a little bit after 5. I had some yearly training I have to do every year. So I was able to do that, but it's all virtual. And so I was home today instead of going into the office. But yeah, so I have been enjoying that and kind of getting the year to where we are, finishing up and getting caught up on stuff. So that's kind of great. Yeah, so why don't we go ahead and get on into the stitching. Okay, so I have a couple new starts. The first one is the most recent start. I started this Tuesday. no, Wednesday night. So my friend Kate, Stitch Yardbark, who is not a Flosstuber, but she is on Instagram. She is a virtual stitcher though, which is, and you can catch her on there sometimes. She is very fond of Owl Forest embroidery, and partially because of that, I was like, okay, I'll buy some kits and I'll see what this is like. One of the ones I purchased is Hyperborea, and there's like you can get 3 individual or 1 full kit, and I got the 1 full kit, which is this. Oh, that's kind of hard to see, but it's a Scandinavian theme winter. There's an owl in the middle part. There's a polar bear in one section and a lynx in the other. I switched out the fabric because it comes with a 32 count. It may be an even weave, or it's like a different, I don't know. But their kits, the fabric is a very tight margin, and I prefer to have a little bit bigger margin. And so I switched out to something else. But we started this Wednesday night. She started in the bottom corner, I started in the center, and this is my start. I'm doing this on a 32 count Jobelin in Aurora, which is one of the winter fabrics from Brandy's Be Stitch Me box last year. It's a Be Stitch Me fabric. And I started in the center. There are these 2 little Christmas trees and then the owl. I don't know that the owl is really coming through. It's a lot clearer. You can't really see that. Okay, so there you go. So the owl there is in a bright white / like light blue variegation. In person, it shows up a lot better. It doesn't really photograph well. I've noticed that when I was trying to take the photo for Instagram. But I really enjoyed this. I'm going to keep working on it. And yeah, I'm using the kit floss, which is the variegated floss from them. They come on little bobbins, well, they're not on bobbins, but they come with bobbins with the printed symbol on them that you can use. I cut it up and put on floss drops because that's how I go, but it's great. So I love this. It's very nice to work with. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. I do need to take the pattern with me to work so I can put it on the scanner to get a digital copy to work from. But yeah. So that was the most recent new start, and that Kate used it as a hashtag Hyperborea sell, so I used it too. I don't know if that has something, if other people are doing that, but we started it December 1st. And then, yeah, there's going to be, it is not the last thing that I think will be started this year. So, okay. Oh, I didn't bring the pattern. Okay, so I showed this last time. Jessica, Rainy Day Stitcher, also on Virtual Stitcher. She is on Flosstube, Rainy Day Stitcher, and she, we both got the Cleopatra piece from Michelle Bindi at the last, the fall expo, which is part of the Meow the Merrier. And we were kind of figuring out what to do, how to stitch it and everything. And she had this wonderful idea of printing on fabric. And she printed on 14 count, stiff as a board, Ada, just with her inkjet printer. And it's like, you need something stiff to go through it. But she printed this papyrus fabric, and it looks so good, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. So we started this. I'm pretty sure I didn't show this last time. I talked about it. We had the fabric, but I'm doing 2/1 with the sulky threads, the called for sulky. So it's really thick, but I like it. I mean, I think it looks great. It's chunky, but funky. No. But it's 14 count, so there's that. I have this Miss Vanjie needle minder that I got from Rebel Stitcher Designs. Colleen, she had some. And so this is how far I got so far. But I am going to continue to work on that. It's also one that, like, if I'm, they're not super big, so that would be an easier one to finish if I want something to finish quickly. Which, with the end of the year, I may be like, I need to get some more finishes. But we'll see how that goes. But that's the last of my new starts. And then I've got a few things that I worked on. So one thing, and I want to show this because you probably won't see it for a while, but, oh, there's not a cover piece. Okay, so one of my things, I was going through stuff, some of my whips, and trying to figure out, like, okay, I want to work on this, or do I want to work on this? I haven't worked on this in a while, and just kind of going through. Hey, Augie. Okay. Different things, and this is a, you can't really tell much about it, but this is a Baby Yoda pattern that I got on Etsy, and like this is the top of his little thing, and it's 1/1 on 25 count. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I had this fabric and I didn't want to do it over 2, and I was like, if I do it this size, I could make an ornament. Fair, but I'm not really feeling it. So I don't know that this is going to be kind of like, there's still quite a bit to do. I'm nowhere near finished, and it's going to take a while, and I don't hate it, but I'm not really interested in working on it anytime soon. So this is going into my, not part of my active whip section. I'm calling this, I'm gonna borrow a phrase from Garrett, Coffee Stitcher, his archive of stuff that is started, but he's not working on right now. I am just, it's a pile, or it's in a drawer thing, but this is going in there. I'm not really comfortable like UFOing things generally, or I am, but a lot of times I'm more just like, well, maybe I'll feel like it later. But so that's kind of where this is going. I did go through all of my whips, and before I started new things, this is the beginning of the last month, it was about 45. So I'm not mad about that, but I don't want to get super crazy, but then I've got these plans. So I am trying to figure out some things that maybe I can get some good progress on, maybe some finishes, at least to kind of feel good about that. I don't know, I'm just say that, but I'm thinking about starting more things, so we'll see. But that one's going away. You probably won't see it for a while. So before I get into my other whips that will be around, I would like to say thank you to everybody that has been watching. If you're new here, please consider sticking around, subscribing, liking, commenting, send me a message on Instagram. Any of those things, I would greatly appreciate it. I have enjoyed a lot of the people that I've met on Flosstube and Instagram doing this, so thank you. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it, so keep it up. I'm looking forward to this next year, and kind of going from there. I also want to do a couple shout outs to some at least new to me, well, one new to me channel, Three Trail Stitchers. They're up in Kansas City. Kate put me onto them, and they are really fun. There's 2 sisters and a friend, and they're like, their moms are friends, so like they've known each other for a long time. But I think one of them is a librarian and one is a teacher, and I don't remember what the other one does, but they are great. They are funny, and then they talk about like what they're reading, what they're watching on TV, and all that stuff at the end of their videos. So that's fun if you're looking for some more stuff to do. Aside from stitching, that's also a great option. They have a lot of different things. They, I think, primarily all stitch on Ada, which is great. And so, yeah. Okay. So, all right. So let's start with that. Okay, I actually worked on this some today during my videos, of watching videos. I had kind of got to a point, was like, oh, I'm gonna have some time. Maybe I should find some stuff that I can just fill in. And I worked on this over Thanksgiving break and I enjoyed it, and I kind of got to a point and then I was like, oh, I want to work on that. And then Thanksgiving happened and then I wanted to work on Christmas stuff. So what I'm talking about is Autumn Town, which is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. This is a black and white picture of the pattern, this town. It's not quite full coverage, but it's dense. Essentially the grass is the fabric and then everything else is stitched. I'm using the called for flosses. There's some overdyes, some silks. I love the silks. I am changing out one of the trees to something else, but not the silks, but it's just charted in regular DMC and I'm changing it to a Threadworks. But this is where I'm at. So this is 32 count Lugana in Jody fabric. Jody made this piece for me and Kristen of the Steel City Stitchers. We started this last year after Christmas as part of the holiday hangover sale. Memphis Sarah E, she is also did this. She started this. I don't know if she's still working on it, but I was going back through some stuff and I saw, oh, she's on that too. So Jody, Catherine Paper Crane Stitches is working on this. She's like super far. Kristen's also super far, but Kristen's starting the top. But I have the pumpkins done. So earlier this year, I had done this part and I kind of got this done, and then I was kind of working my way over, and then I got to this side so I could cut the fabric. I did that, and then I've finished filling in the pumpkins this morning and worked on this tree a little bit too. This is one of the silks. Isn't that gorgeous, that multicolor? I really love this cherry bark, or dark cherry, black cherry one. It's really cool. But I kind of did some outlining and worked on some of the black part of the tree so that I could kind of get some progress on stuff easily without having to really refer to the pattern a lot. And so it's kind of what I did. But yeah, this is a really cool, really fun pattern. I'm probably not going to touch this again until after Christmas because I'm like, ooh, Christmas, ooh, Christmas. But I'll definitely work on this the day after Christmas again. So at least on its birthday, I'm working on it. But yeah, I'm not quite a quarter, but I think I'm getting close to being a quarter done. So I think if I get like this far, like I would be a quarter, but I'm not there yet. So got to fill in this tree, got to work on this house. There's some sidewalk or path up this way, and there's more stuff to this house, like the chimney and stuff. So, but I really enjoy this piece. It's really gorgeous. So, yeah, Holiday Hangover Sal, Autumn Lane Stitchery, Autumn Town. Here's the flosses. So for reference, this is the beautiful silk that is that tree I was working on earlier. Here is the red one that I just love. The other red tree that is gorgeous. And then I'm going to be using, this is not called for, but I'm using this Threadworks as instead of the called for 740, which is just that color. So you can see it's similar, but it goes the yellow to the red. So that's the plan, and that will be what I work on after Christmas. I may work on it before then, but I definitely will work on it then. And I just really was happy with it. I got a good amount of progress, and I'm really happy over this last month. It is kind of like, I was like, oh, it's autumn. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, now Thanksgiving's over. Christmas. It's not quite Christmas. I mean, it's not even winter yet, but you know, That's why the stores do it. Okay, I have to tell this story because I love this story. So my boyfriend has a niece that is 6 years old, and they were over in Arkansas. They live here in Tulsa, his niece and her parents. But they were over in Arkansas during the holiday break, and they were one of the towns they were in. All the shops were starting to put out their Christmas stuff. And this is before Thanksgiving, but it's like early part of the week, and she just was like, too soon. Like, don't y'all know that December is next week? Like, just like, and her mom's like, I don't know what, but it was hilarious. I loved it. And so like before Thanksgiving, we were driving back from the grocery store, and I was just like saying that out the door to like the people that had already put up their Christmas lights. And this is just joke. There are lots of people that do that, and that's great. I am one that I put it up after Thanksgiving. My tree is up. I don't do the outside lights, so that's a whole other thing. I like looking at them. I just don't want to do all that. So it was just really funny, and I thought she was adorable when that was happening. But anyway, okay, so now to get to the Christmas. Now, that does not apply to Christmas stitching because I have done that. Okay, so I have another Autumn Lane piece. This is the Woodland Santa that came out last year. And so I have been working on this. I showed this last time too. I continued to work on the bottom of his coat and down to his feet, and this package is over here. So this is still one of my Whip Go goals, to work a couple more days on this. I really enjoyed this piece a lot. This is on an 18 count Ada Jade by Picture This Plus. And so, yeah, I really, really enjoy this piece. I've still got to fill in that darker green, and then there's but then I'm almost done with this bottom here, and then his feet. And I kind of, did I move it? No, the next time I work on this, I need to move the Q-snap. Or did I already move it? I need to move it down a little bit because I want to kind of work my way down here and get kind of the bottom and then start working my way back up. So, but I love this piece. It's really fun. Woodland Santa, Autumn Lane Stitchery. It's really good. I mean, there are a lot of colors, but and you're like, wait, purple in the beard, but yeah, can't you see that? You see those different colors? It's great. I love this piece. So, yeah, it's definitely going to get some more work on this before the end of the year, and it's Ada, so it's a lot easier to stitch on in the car. I can stitch in the car some, not a huge amount. Obviously I'm not driving, but another piece that is going to be coming possibly when I'm driving around is Winter Deer by Stitcherovia. So this is black and white copy. This is available on her Etsy shop, and I have done a little bit more. I filled in over here and filled in some of the tree. But this is definitely this is one of my oldest whips, and I am wanting to get significant progress on this. This is also a Whip Go goal that I've got to put in quite a bit more work on, and so that's going to happen between now and Christmas as well. And then into next year too, because it is wintry. But this is on an 18 count Ada from Be Stitch Me. It's a gray, and it didn't have a name. So that's where it's at. I did change, accidentally, I changed this color. It's a different color. It's a brighter pink than what's called for, but it's still in the pattern. I just used the wrong one, and I don't want to change it. I like that color. So Catherine, Paper Crane Stitches, was saying that in person the colors are more muted than they look on the picture. I think that's fair. But I don't, I like them, but that one I was like, okay, well, I did that, I'm not going to change it. So, another Ada piece. I worked a little bit on my Welcome to Naboo piece from Country Magic Stitch on Etsy. It's a black and white. It is a vintage style travel poster for the Star Wars planet Naboo. And so here's where I'm at. I pretty much filled in some here, put this in, and just didn't do a whole lot, but I got a little bit more progress one evening. I was done with some full coverage stitching, this is also full coverage, but and then just pulled this out to work on it a little bit. So it got to go in the pile. And this is on an 18 count white Ada 2/1. I usually use 2 strands on 18 count or 36. I just like the way it works, the thicker pieces. So that is this one. Not a lot of progress. This is one of my travel pieces that I took as well. So it'll probably, after I'm over Christmas, it will come with me again when I travel to Arkansas. Okay. So the next one I do have a picture of. So this is one of my long dog samplers. And I do have, so this is called The Pointed Fifth. And it came out this year. Came out, I guess, about 6 months ago because I saw somebody had finished it. But this is what the pattern looks like. It's charted for stitched in black on white. And I am not doing that. And this is how far I am. So I think mostly what I worked on was this. I didn't get a whole lot of progress, but I started using this apple fritter from Gentle Art, Classic Colorworks. I think it's Classic Colorworks, but I don't remember. One of them, and it's really pretty, and I like it for the brick effect of this house. And then I used another, it's like green lawn or something from Threadworks down there for the little grass, green grass maybe. And so I'm just kind of working my way up, and I'm gonna finish that house and then kind of go from there. The border parts I'm doing in a Silks for You hank, which is PR2. Hold up, please. 167. So it's a beautiful rainbow. I really enjoy it. Kind of figure out how I want to use it, how to stitch with it. And then this is a Katya, the drag queen needle minder that I got from Rebel Stitcher with the rainbow. I felt this was super gay, so I liked it. And I love Katya, so she got to be on here. Yeah. Oh, this is on 36 count vintage country mocha linen. Probably 36 count. I think it is, but it's a little big, so I don't know. That's why I'm working my way up, because I want to make sure I have enough space. And yeah. Okay. Only 2 more projects, but I have 2 more projects. These are 2 of my full coverages. So let's do this one first. I'll show you. Well, how do I? Okay, view mock-up. Okay, so first up we have Amy Stewart's Once Upon a Fairy Tale. That's kind of blowing it up. But this is one of her beautiful bookshelf patterns. Although there's a few books, but not that many. So I'm kind of down here in this corner. I started down here. I've got this little cart done and part of that house. I'm not quite to the mermaid yet, I don't think, but that's kind of where I'm at. So I am using Pattern Keeper, and for reference, I am at 1.62%. I have 6,500 stitches done, and I'm like super far away from being done. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So you can see the cart, part of this building. I switched, so I was doing 10 wide diagonals, and then I switched to doing a 20 wide diagonal, and then I switched back to 10 on this one because there's just so many color changes in this that it made it easier to do it with 10. So I finished up the diagonal that I was working on and did a little bit more. I did some big chunks of black that were easy to work on, and then kind of that's what I've done. So I just finished working on that this week, this diagonal a couple days ago, and I switched back over to my other Heaven and Earth design. Oh, they're Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And the other one that I have is Intimate Encounter. The art is by Sandra Santera. And this is what it'll look like. This is the mock-up. So again, I started down here, and I've got the hand, this is Pan, and that's Hearn, and I've got Pan's hand, and the start of Hearn's hand on his wrist is coming up. So, okay, so this one I am doing 20 count wide diagonals because there's a lot less, there's big blocks of color that make it a lot easier for me to not get lost in that. So I've been working on filling this one in, and I'm kind of up that way, and I've got some little bits to fill in too, but those are kind of like, there's only one there and I don't want to do that yet. So that's where I'm at. This one, I am further along, but I'm also like closer to being finished in the sense that this is a lot less stitches to be done. So this one I'm at 3%, and I've got 8,100 stitches in. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to try and finish this diagonal. So I have a Whip Go goal this year. And I am going to talk about my Whip Go goal for next year, my goals. I printed out my board. But one of my goals this year was to do, I had 2 spots for 8,000 stitches, and it wasn't like I had to do them this year or do them in the month. It was more like I want 8,000 stitches done on my pieces, my Heaven and Earth design or full coverages. I have a couple others. I've not started anything else, but I have some other patterns by some other designers. And I'm kind of thinking I might start a new one, but I want to get further along because like, it's not like, 3%, less than 2%. I have less than 5% of my project done, both projects. So I kind of want to get a little bit further before I start another one. Anyway, my goal is to do 16,000 stitches. Now I do these, I didn't say that. For the big full coverages, my preference is to do 2/1 on 28 count in a 10 stitch. So it's not a full cross. It takes about half the time, but that also, I love the coverage, and I think I get a really good look, so I'm happy to do that. So that works for me. That's what I want to do. Anyway, so when I say 8,000, it's 8,000 half stitches versus, so it's more like 8,000 total stitches for regular, full crosses. But so that was my goal. I have less than 1,500 stitches to reach that, I think. So I'm very close. I'm going to get that. That's going to happen. I don't know if I finish this diagonal, depending on how much more I have to get to my goal, I may switch back to Once Upon a Fairy Tale, or I may keep on with Intimate Encounter just to like finish up my goal. Now, next year, I have 2 spots on my WIPGO board. Well, let's just go ahead and transition into that. So I've got my WIPGO board here for next year, and so I want to show kind of what I am thinking. So I found that my goals that I set at the beginning of this year were very large, not unachievable, but they were hard to do in a month and really work on other things. And so I switched a lot of it to, I redid my goals a couple times during the year to kind of figure it out. But the things that work best for me are a certain number of days. I also really like categories. So what I've done is I've switched to, instead of having 8,000 full coverage stitches, I have a goal this next year, to do 2,000 stitches a month. So that's going to be 24,000 stitches. It's a little bit more. I feel like I could have worked on these more, and that's certainly achievable. I just kind of was like, oh, I need to do that, but I don't, it's not called, I'm working on other things. I want to focus more this next year on my full coverages, and so I have set a goal of every month doing 2,000 stitches. Now, that's cumulative. If I do 2,500 stitches, then the next month I only have to do 1,500 because it's easier for me to do that. I'm also planning to mostly work on this on my Friday night virtual stitching. That may change depending on some things, but that's kind of the current plan. And if I can't get good work then maybe I'll have to switch that over to a weeknight sometime, just because of if things are busy, it's not always easy to stitch on that. So I found that doing 5 days on a project or a type of project works great for me. So I went through and I made some different categories. Some of them are by a specific designer, some of them are just like a group, and I am working on that. I do have 2 spots that are for an additional 1,500 stitches on full coverages. And those, I'm like, that month, I want to really focus on this. So if I do my goal of 24,000 stitches, these additional 3,000 stitches from the 2 1,500s will give me another 27,000 stitches next year. And that should be a pretty good chunk. I won't be like 50% done with anything. Even if I just worked on Intimate Encounter, that would not be enough. But I would get a good amount of progress, which is kind of the main goal. So the other things that I have a fandom category where like anything that is Marvel, Star Wars, any of that stuff, I can work on that. That'll count towards that. I have ink circles. I have a lot of ink circle projects that I have started, and I want to get more of them done. And I have several more that I want to start. So I'm trying to focus on ink circles. Pretty Ladies, which is my name for anything that is like this, a Mirabilia, a Bella Filipina. So it's also dudes, because I have like Triton, that would count too. If Aaron did a merman and I started him, that would count. anything, I have, well, I have the Mighty Samurai from Dimensions, which is my oldest whip, from 2013 or earlier. That one would count. I would count. It's not a lady, but it's like portraits, or like, maybe that's not quite right. Like people. I'm gonna call it pretty ladies, but I know what it means. Until I come up with a better name. I also have some spots for my letters pattern. That is one of the things that I did not work on as much this year as I wanted to. Originally, I tried to get that done this year. That didn't happen. The Mystery Pain-Free Crafts 2019 Stitch Along was a series of letters that were mythical creatures. I am I'm halfway through. I am to N for Nessie, and that is one of the things that I'm also going to continue to work on till the end of the year. But instead of trying to get so many letters done, I'm just switching them to work 5 days on it. I'm just trying to get progress versus like not working on it. But that one, I have seasonal days, seasonal stitching. And so I have that in two different ways. I have just seasonal. So if it gets called in a certain month, I'm going to try to stitch stuff for that time period. So like if it's called in January, then I'm going to try to stitch winter stuff. If it's in the spring, I'm going to try to stitch spring stuff, etc. I have the Satsuma Street season patterns, Inverno, Otoño, I can't think of the other two words, but Verano and Primavera. But I have those, and I am doing some of the motifs, but individually, and then putting them on my canvas finishes. I have done several from Primavera, but I don't have any of the other seasons done. So that was something that I'm like, I can get that done. I'm trying to get more stuff that I can have, that I can switch out and hang up every year, and then also get some progress on some big pieces. So that's kind of the goal. Letters. Okay, so I also have some Christmas. I have a spot for Christmas, winter, Halloween, and fall, because those are specific holiday time seasonal stitching that I want to work on. I have a spot for my 5 oldest whips, which is, I have identified what those are. I may change that to 10, but something in that group I'm going to work on. The free space, again, I used as New Start 5 days. I can use one thing. I'm not like any of this stuff. I can work on more than one thing in that category, unless there's only one thing in that category. Owls, just anything that has an owl in it. I like owls. I want to continue to work on my owls. Letters, fandom. Long dogs. I've got 2 spots for long dogs to work on my long dogs. I'm still trying to be on track to get the pointed fifth done by next leap year. So I would like to do that. That's going to require stitching every month, a good chunk. I'm a little behind probably, but I can do it. And so that would also help with that. And then the only other one on here is I have a spot for dragons. I have several dragon pieces. I have some dragon pieces that I would like to work on. One of, I think probably my next full coverage that I start will be a dragon. I'm not sure. So that's something that I will probably do in my next video. I'm going to pull the images from several of the patterns that I'm considering starting and kind of do like what do you all think? And there probably will be a giveaway component to it. I have a couple charts of some things that I have already stitched, and so I would be happy to pass that along. So we may do that at the end of the year, a little present thing, Christmas, pass it forward type of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I make my board a little bit different than the standard looking one, just because I did it. And then I also, so like, because the numbers to me, bingo goes like this, like so I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 25. So that's how I do it. And then I used random.org. I put a list of things in there and then had it reorder it randomly. And then I used that as my numbers. Like the top one was 1, the bottom one was 25, and then the middle one was the free space, because that had to be the free space. So it's always going to be, or it's my new starts. So that's my WIPGO plans for next year. I'm really excited. I know some people are joining WIPGO for the first time. I'm very happy for everybody that's joining it. If it helps you, that's great. I mean, I don't have any stake in it, but I've enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. But yeah, one other thing for plans. Okay. Oh no. Put this back. That shouldn't go the other way, but anyway. Okay, so Stephanie of Just Keep Stitching showed this. Well, actually, it's the one for this year on her Flosstube a couple weeks ago, and I was like, ooh, that's a good idea. So I've kind of thought about the idea of doing like a temperature chart, you know, like the ones where you have a different leaf every day or whatever it is. You stitch something and you have a color code that's like based on the colors. So Christie's Corner on Etsy, Christy Di Clemente, has designed temperature bookshelf charts. She has one that she's done for 2022, and she did one for 2021. Has some, and then there's a bonus. You can switch out what the little knickknacks are, because she has like, essentially each shelf is a month, and then she has different knickknacks on the shelf, and then there's a book for every day, and you can stitch, the way she has it, you can stitch the high for the day in your area, and that will change color over time as that is. So my thought was, that's cool. Why don't I be more difficult for myself? And so I am trying to do a combination of the high and the low. In where I live, Oklahoma, we have it's not uncommon to have very high highs and low lows in very short amount of time, even the same day. There's been like, you need a jacket, you need a coat in the morning because it's 40 or 35, and then it's 80 in the afternoon. Like, that shit happens here. And just the high is not as descriptive of Oklahoma weather as kind of I would like to try and incorporate. So my thought is to do something, you know how the old, like those old books, well, even new books, but there's generally more than one color on a book spine. So, oh, not that. Sorry. With the right tablet with the thing, the right screen. Okay. So, what did I do with it? Okay, so, and this is just like, I Googled this image from online and saved it as kind of a reference thing. But you know how like old books have kind of like two colors to them often? I mean, generally it's like a metallic and then another color. But my idea is to kind of do that. So I took her chart of colors, but she has it charted with like a three degree range, and I expanded that out to 5 degrees. And so I'm going to use one color for the book, and that's probably the high, and then the other color is going to be like the outline around it and some stripes on the spine, and that'll kind of change depending on how big the book is on that piece, but that's kind of my goal. So I've kind of like recharted her list, and I've got the other colors. This is not everything, but I picked those up. I need to put them on drops and add it here. But the fabric I'm going to do this on is what I got last month or 2 months ago from Be Stitch Me. I think it was last month, because this is the neutral color. This was vintage. So it's a nice, really beautiful pink, or well, it's kind of like a cream color, and it just doesn't have a whole lot of, it's not very busy. I figured this would look great. So it's 32 count Jobelin, vintage, and yeah, it'll definitely fit on this fat quarter from Brandy. So we've got that. And that's my other, like, oh, I'm going to start this. I need to start working on it soon because I need to get the shelf going so that I can be ready to go for January. And, you know, there's a month, but that's about it. Okay. Now I'll talk about haul. This is going to be super long. This is probably more in reverse order because some of the newer stuff is kind of at the front. That's a leaf. Okay, so I did order from Garon Stitchery over the holiday break. They did one of their rare sales. Several things were on sale, and I picked up a couple things. So, sorry, I didn't do this then, but this was a Bella Filipina. This is Hanan, Deity of the Morning, and it pairs with the Deity of the Sky or the Night, Miyuki, or the Moon. They're kind of like opposites, like one's facing that way, one's facing that way. I also picked up the Beads and Treasures. They had that as a pack, so I purchased those. They were on sale. I've been thinking of getting them, and I just hadn't done it. I also purchased a couple, and I did this from several places, so you'll see this. I have a plan at some point in the future to stitch, I don't own it yet either, I need to buy it, but the Garden Stars by Ink Circles. EJ from the Sunshine Stitchers is working on it. It's a really pretty piece with a bunch of different like floral motifs, but like ink circles way, and so it's like one color for the whole thing. It's not really Quaker, but it's kind of like, or geometric designs. And so I want to do that, but I want to kind of do it in a bunch of different threads. Probably silks is kind of my idea. So I've been purchasing some just different greens that I see at different places. So they had, one of the things that was on sale was the Thread Gatherer Silken Colors, which are these. So I just purchased a couple skeins, a dark green and this one. This is Coastal Seaweed. It's really pretty. And this is Dark Forest. So yeah, and I've got a couple other. I think this was from 123 Stitch. I purchased this Gloriana, which is Spring Green. That's another one. And I got this Karen Water Lilies, Emerald. So these are all slightly different, and I think that's because there's like 16 or 17 colors. I also got Pine Forest from Karen Water Lilies. That's another color. Those were not for this. I purchased Turquoise Trail, and I don't think this is going to work for that, but it's a really pretty color. I really do like it, but I don't think it's... oh, I got some Dinky Dyes. This was from, I'm pretty sure, from Fire Poppies. And this is Acacia. So nice other green. And we've got a Peacock. Another pretty color. Some of these are kind of similar, but I think they're different enough that it'll work. And then Rainforest, which is another color. And I think there's one more. There's really like a yellowy color one. I don't know where it went, but I'm sure I'll find it. It's in here somewhere. So yeah, that's I'm kind of building that, but I'm not ready to start it, and I'm just doing that. Okay, so back to the other stuff. So I did get my fabric of the month for November from Be Stitch Me. And I do two fabrics. I do the neutral color and the Jobelin 32 count, and then I have switched the colorful one to a 36 count linen. And so this month, I think both of these are repeats from other times, but it's a beautiful colors. I'm definitely happy getting this. I got the neutral color was Frost, and so it is this beautiful light blue, very subtle modeling. That's going to be great for some wonderful pieces. A light blue. Oh no, can I have too much? No, you cannot. So there's that. Okay, I also purchased Princess, or didn't purchase, then the colorful one was Princess. So it's a darker blue, and this is on the linen. So it's very pretty, very happy with that. Okay, I purchased some things from 123 Stitch. One of the things that I purchased was this piece of 32 count linen in Cyprium from Picture This Plus. It's a beautiful color. I really like this color. It's a lot like Toast from Brandy. And so, yeah, it's a 32 count. This is an 8th, so it's a nice little piece. You can fit some things on there. Cyprium. It doesn't look like, it looks a lot more yellow on the like standard picture, but it's not that color anymore. I also got some Mystic, and this is an 18 count Ada. I love Mystic. It's a beautiful fabric, and I needed some more. So this is, the Ada is not as modeled as the linen, and I do love the linen too, but I like having this as like a dark blue to work with. So yeah, it's a really pretty color. Mystic, 18 count. I also got some Vintage Country Mocha. It is it's supposed to be 36 count. I think it is. I wonder. And I did get a half yard because it's a nice color to have if you need to do a big piece on. This looks smaller. I think I may have 32. I think I'm still going to be okay, but yeah, this definitely looks smaller. So, Vintage Country Mocha. It's a nice, if you're doing something really big and you're worried about paying for a hand dyed, this is a cheaper alternative, because you still get some modeling from the printing effect that they have, the Vintage Country, and it's just a really nice, I really enjoy working with this. But this is Weigert fabric, so just one of the things to think about. Okay, oh, here's the green, the other one. It's a dinky dye. This is Grasshopper, so it's kind of like a yellow green. It's a little more green than that, but I think that would be a nice. It's a good additional one. Okay, so well, I'll just do that. So I also picked up this red clay from Gloriana. I just thought it was a really pretty color. And then I got Turquoise Trail, and this one. which those were both pretty as well. So those will go. I don't have anything particular for them. And then I have Evening in Paris, which is a pretty blue. So another one of those. I did purchase, that may have been Garon and not Fire Poppies. I don't remember. Forgot who I purchased the Dinky Dice from. I don't think it's Garon. I think it was Fire Poppies. But I did also purchase the holly on the Woodland Santa. The Grime Guard was a recent purchase as well, but I needed to use it. And then I also got another one. These are both from Garon, and this is dragons. So I've got a couple different dragon pieces that I'll definitely use this on. So I got that. Sorry about that. Well, I noticed a cut because there was a whole thing where Augie was barking and everything, and I had to get up and go check the door, and it was the Amazon guy. So, anyway, okay, so there was a new Long Dog Samplers piece that came out a couple weeks ago. You Belong to Me is the title of it. It is a very Egyptian theme. Here is the mock-up of it from Pattern Keeper. See the pyramids, all this stuff. It's really cool. I'm really excited. I was like, oh, I want that. And, oh, what would I want to do? Oh, what about using this silk hank that I have? And then what kind of fabric? And then I really want to do it on some kind of like sunset piece, or something that kind of reminds me of the sunset. And I've kind of got some things, but I haven't settled on it. I've ordered some other stuff to see maybe, or I have a friend sending me another piece that might work, but I also like that one. So he said he would never stitch on it. So I ordered a couple pieces from Fire Poppies, and I don't think they're going to work for this, but they are really pretty, and I'm really excited, and they're really nice. So first one, these are both from Under the Sea Fabrics. They're fat quarters, and they're 36 count linen. But this is Tulip Sunrise. It's a beautiful, pretty color. Yeah. So there's that. The other one I bought is Iris, and this is also a really pretty color. Yeah, it's really pretty. So, beautiful pieces. I will be using them for something else, I'm sure. But yeah, didn't work out for what I wanted them for, but that's fine. I'm also happy to have more stuff for my stash, more linen. Okay, I did participate in Brandy's fight night in November. Part of it was like she was trying to figure out a way, because there's like a delay for people that use mobile devices, and then they don't really get an opportunity to participate. So she did some stuff on Facebook and then some stuff on her website, and I ordered a piece of blood orange fabric. This is what I have Cleopatra on. I love this fabric, and I just wanted another piece so I could have something. It's gorgeous. That's just so pretty. But that's blood orange. This is on a 36 count linen. Cleopatra's on 32, but this is, and then I also ordered, this is Fall Foliage, which was one of the autumn colors, the autumn box, but I got this is the Jobelin. I think that's really pretty too. So, yeah, that's that. Let's see. Oh, I also picked up, or no, I think I won this. Oh, I don't think it's called, I think this is Pumpkin Patch. This was a silk. I think I won this as the giveaway. I do have, oh, no. Uh-oh. I don't have the names. Oh no. Well, poop. Okay. So I did get some thread works from 3All Threads, but I don't know what happened to the little piece of paper that has the names on it. So I'm just gonna give you numbers and describe it. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but this is 11170. It's like a taupe to tan color, maybe a little green to it. Variegated. 11352. This is a light pink, variegated, peachy color. 1103. Similar but a little darker. 10281. This is like a tan to light honey yellow color. 10291. This is a cream color. Not much variegation to it. 1155. This is like a purple taupey variegation. 1064. This is kind of tanny taupe. 10140. This is a light blue, pretty color. 1077. This is kind of like a terracotta, but a little bit more reddish. 1079. This is a gray taupe lavender kind of color. And so, okay, so that's all of it. No book talk this time. I don't really have much. I have read several books, but they're all in a series that I'm still continuing to read, and I don't really want to take up more time. So, that's it for this time. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do all the things. Send me a message on Instagram if you have any questions or anything. I hope you all have a great time, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever holiday you celebrate. I hope you enjoy that over the next month. Or whenever it is. I hope you all enjoy that and have a good time stitching. Bye.